Wisdom begins in your mind. Your thoughts shape your world. Philosophers like Epictetus teach us that it's not the events around us that disturb us, but how we perceive them. Learn how to master your inner dialogue and positively influence your life. Every moment offers you the chance to change your mindset and grow wiser. Welcome to Stoic Times, your channel for more serenity, self-control, and life happiness. Subscribe now and turn on notifications for more life-enhancing content. Please write silence or leave a short feedback in the comments. Thank you. Chapter 1. Controlling your thoughts. Wisdom begins within. From the Stoic perspective, the world is shaped not by external events, but by how you interpret them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." What does that mean for you? Imagine finding yourself in a tough situation. Maybe it's the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or an unexpected crisis. Many would panic, overwhelmed by negative thoughts. But here's where wisdom comes in. You have the power to control your thoughts before they control you. When at a crossroads in life, ask yourself, what's within my control? This simple question shifts your mind from fear and uncertainty to clarity and focus. You may not control what happens around you, but you control how you respond to it. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow wiser. Remember, no thought is random. You choose what to think. The more consciously you make that choice, the calmer your mind becomes. Stoic wisdom is about facing the world's chaos with inner peace. Wisdom also shows in how you handle conversations and conflicts. Don't let impulsive reactions guide you. Be aware that your opinion about a situation is far more powerful than the situation itself. Each decision is an opportunity to choose wisdom. Controlling your thoughts is the first step toward wisdom. Chapter 2. Accepting the inevitable. Life is full of the unpredictable. Whether we like it or not, challenges come our way, loss, setbacks, or changes we can't control. Seneca once said, "A wise person adapts to circumstances, just as water takes the shape of its container." This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. When you learn to accept the inevitable, you gain freedom. Imagine constantly fighting against what you can't control. That's the quickest way to inner turmoil. But once you accept what cannot be changed, the resistance fades away. You start to see things as they are, not driven by desires or fears. In every crisis, ask, "Can I change this?" If not, wisdom lies in accepting the inevitable. It doesn't mean giving up. It means shifting focus to what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never give in to despair, for what you cannot control should not disturb you." By accepting what's outside your power, you learn to live with serenity. This serenity is the hallmark of a wise person. You have a choice in every moment: resist the inevitable or embrace it as part of life and move on. Acceptance is not weakness. It's a form of inner strength that allows you to walk through life with dignity, no matter how rough the waves of fate become. When you internalize this lesson, you'll find that the things that once troubled you no longer have power over you. The key lies in letting go of control and trusting life. Chapter 3. Mastering emotions, not avoiding them. Emotions are like a river. They flow through us, sometimes calmly, sometimes wildly. But instead of letting them sweep us away, we must learn to understand them. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." But what about your emotions? Many think wisdom means being emotionless, but that's a misconception. Emotions are a natural part of being human. The key is not to suppress them, but to master them. Imagine feeling anger or sadness. These feelings aren't the problem. The issue is how you react to them. When you're wise, you recognize your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. The Stoics taught that our inner storms don't come from external circumstances, but from how we interpret those circumstances. You have a choice. Will you let anger and frustration control you, or will you rise above them? Wisdom means pausing before you react, recognizing the source of your emotions, and choosing how you'll act. Every emotion carries a message. Anger shows where you need to let go. Fear points to your insecurities. Wisdom is in decoding these messages, not ignoring them or getting trapped by them. When you learn to observe your emotions instead of acting blindly, you gain inner freedom. It won't always be easy, but the more you practice, the stronger your inner peace becomes. You'll realize that no external event has the power to destroy your peace as long as you control your reactions. Each time you master your emotions, you grow, and with every step, you come closer to wisdom. True strength lies in calmly looking at the emotional storm and stripping it of its power. Chapter 4. Letting Go of Ego. Your greatest obstacle on the path to wisdom? Your ego. It whispers constantly that you're right, that you deserve more, that you should be at the center of everything. But this whisper distracts you from what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Remember how much more you could be if you focused less on yourself." The ego is an illusion. It tricks you into thinking your worth depends on external successes, recognition, or control over others. But real wisdom begins when you break through this illusion. What's the point of always wanting to be right if it robs you of peace? What's the use of triumphing over others if it builds only your own prison? Let's be honest, the ego makes you believe you're invulnerable. But in reality, it makes you more vulnerable than anything else. It blinds you to reality, isolates you from others, and traps you in a cycle of self-validation. Wisdom is recognizing this prison and breaking free from it. How do you let go of the ego? First, understand it's not about you. The world doesn't revolve around your desires or pride. When you see your place in the bigger picture, you become humble, and in that humility, you find strength, a calmness the ego can never offer. Letting go of the ego isn't weakness. It's one of the greatest strengths you can develop. It allows you to see clearly. You'll no longer be blinded by pride, but will recognize what truly matters. Becoming wise means overcoming the ego and gaining true freedom. Chapter 5. Patience is the path to wisdom. Patience is a virtue often forgotten in a world full of rush, but it's in stillness where true strength lies. Marcus Aurelius understood the power of patience when he wrote, "Nature doesn't hurry, yet everything is accomplished." This insight teaches us that wisdom doesn't emerge overnight, but through steady, patient action. Imagine standing before a seemingly insurmountable obstacle. Your first impulse might be to force a solution, but sometimes the wisest course is to take a step back and wait. In silence, the wise find clarity. Patience gives you the ability to see things from a broader perspective rather than being driven by fleeting emotions or urgency. Nature itself shows us that everything takes time. An oak tree doesn't grow in a day, but over years. The same goes for wisdom. You may not immediately see the results of your efforts, but that doesn't mean they aren't ripening. Patience is trusting the process, knowing that time will reveal the answer if you give it space. In difficult moments, patience is your anchor. It prevents you from making hasty decisions or being swayed by external circumstances. A wise person knows that anything of value takes time. Success, peace, wisdom, all are born from continuity, not haste. Wisdom also shows itself in knowing when to act and when to wait. Impatience leads to mistakes, while patience allows you to wait for the right moment. Through patience, not only will you achieve your goals, but you will also cultivate an inner calm that guides you on the path to wisdom. Patience isn't passive. It's an active decision to trust life and know that everything comes at the right time, as long as you're ready to wait for it. Chapter 6. Courage to act. There are moments in life when patience alone isn't enough. Wisdom also requires courage, the courage to take action when the time is right. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength shows itself in recognizing the right moment and acting decisively. Imagine standing on the edge of an important decision. Your mind is calm, you've weighed your options carefully. And then, doubt creeps in. What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? This is where the wise separate from the hesitant. The wise understand that there is no perfect time, only the moment where courage is needed. Wisdom isn't about avoiding risks, but calculating them, and then acting with courage. Courage doesn't mean you're free from fear, but that you act despite the fear. A wise person doesn't wait for all doubts to disappear. They see the opportunity and take action. This is how deliberation turns into determination. In many life situations, there are no guarantees. The future remains uncertain, no matter how long you deliberate. But the Stoic knows, the control doesn't lie in the outcome, but in the decision to act. Once you realize this, you're ready to take bold steps, not recklessly, but with a clear mind and an open heart. The courage to act is the key to turning dreams into reality. If you always wait for perfect conditions, you'll hesitate forever. The moment that matters is now. Use your wisdom not only to know what to do, but to actually do it. True wisdom shows itself in the balance between patience and courage. Wait when necessary, but also have the courage to take the first step when the time is right. Only those who act can create change, both in the world and within themselves. Chapter 7. Gratitude and Everyday Wisdom. Wisdom doesn't only show itself in great deeds, but in the small moments of daily life. The Stoic knows that every experience, every day, offers an opportunity to embrace life with gratitude. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Reflect on what you have and how much you would miss it if it were gone." These words remind us not to take what we have for granted. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture, it's the key to inner peace. When you focus on what you have, rather than on what you lack, you open your heart to the true richness of life. It's not about material possessions or status, but the inner contentment that comes from realizing you already have enough. Picture a day when nothing spectacular happens. A typical day where you go to work, talk to people, and return home in the evening. The Stoic would look for wisdom in these moments by asking, "What do I have to appreciate today?" It's not the size of the moment that matters, but your ability to recognize the essentials in simple things. Gratitude is also a shield against the temptations of envy and dissatisfaction. When you learn to appreciate what you have, you'll be less driven by the desire to have more. You'll come to understand that true wealth lies within, not in external circumstances. Each day offers you the chance to grow wiser by remembering what truly matters. Family, friendship, health, these are gifts often overlooked until they're lost. When you live with gratitude, you begin to see the world through the eyes of wisdom. Wisdom is not a distant virtue, it's in every action, thought, and emotion. Gratitude is the soil in which this wisdom grows, leading you to a life filled with serenity and contentment. Final thoughts. Wisdom is not a destination, but a journey that begins anew every day. The Stoic principles you've explored here give you the tools to think more clearly, act more wisely, and find inner peace. In every moment, you have the choice to respond wisely, let go of ego, practice patience, and act with courage. Let this wisdom flow into your daily life, whether in small or significant decisions. The real art lies in living what you've learned every day. Use the Stoic's journal to turn theory into practice and continue your journey toward wisdom. Until next time on Stoic Times,